In-game names, player names, usernames, gamer tags, PSNs. Guys, we've all been curious about several players out there and pros, exactly how their name came about. The last time we talked about this was another Huntsman member known as Arcedes, who randomly generated his name. Nothing really to do with ARs, nothing too exciting, nothing, not to knock his great story, but another great story, and one, honestly, when it comes time for in-game names and real-life names as well, probably one of the most touching and truly astonishing, I would say, in-game name stories we'll ever talk about. That's going to be another Huntsman member, yes, brought to us by Hex in his latest Eavesdrop podcast, linked down below for all of you. A great listen through of General, also known as Jordan General, which, by the way, was not his real name before he actually eventually changed it in-game as well. His story is truly touching, and again, when it comes time for breaking other content creators, players, streamers, and pro players in esports and their in-game names down, I don't know if any story will probably beat this one.
Jordan General, it's you know, it's like when I say I'm Hex Rodriguez, right? Like I thought it was just one thing. The difference between you and me is that you actually changed your last name to General.
Yes.
Correct.
Correct.
Right? Your mom did as well.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Your dad was the only one that didn't.
No.
What's with the name change?
Okay, so as I said before, as I didn't grow up in the, I mean, of course I had everything I had because my mom would provide and she would work very hard. But basically, my biological father, even though my dad is not my real dad, like as of right now that raised me, is not my biological father. He's my real dad.
Yeah.
And so, but my mom at the time, she was working really hard as a single mom, and so basically what happened was, the reason why I changed my name was my biological father kind of scumbagged me, and what he did was, so 2014, the year before I started to play, my brother, his name is Joey, he was killed. I'm not going to go into the details, but he passed away, and I wasn't able to go to his funeral, and that really enraged me. And since he wasn't a part of my life, my biological father, that was the last straw for me.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to carry your last name anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's over. And so with that being said, I changed my last name, and I went through it, and just as my
older brother.
Yes, he was older.
How much older?
He died when he was 21.
And you were like 14, 15?
15 or 16, yeah. So from there, I would change my name, and that's just how it went. And people would think like, oh yeah, he changed his name because he's a general sort of will. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's not what it was. And I never really thought I had to explain it or thought that people would care that much that I changed my name. But the reason why I did it is because it was literally because of my biological father, and I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to do anything with him at all. Yeah.
So it truly is crazy, especially if you listen to the entire podcast. I highly encourage you guys to do so, to see a guy who comes up from a very, not necessarily rough upbringing in all aspects, but certainly was one of many esports pros we know who was picked on as a kid and going through a lot of trials and tribulations, and eventually having that happen to him. It's kind of unimaginable, right? I sit back and I look at my own self. I actually took the time to think back to, what me and my friends always talk about are the old PlayStation days, the old original Call of Duty days and Halo days, but especially we used to play knife and gun game together. We called it Mike Myers, if any of you guys remember that. My first ever PSN, when I first ever actually got my PlayStation, was Riot Maker J. Nothing really cool about it. I liked using a Riot Shield, and that was about it. My second one, I think, was XX Epic Fail 69XX, if you guys can tell where my childish brain was at. You guys, of course, can leave your in-game names down below, but I have never seen a story out there of someone actually choosing their in-game name, but also choosing their real-life name with such a touching story as Jordan General. Until next time, I hope you guys all enjoy breaking down esports gaming, and yes, a lot of Call of Duty news nearly every single day, because as you guys know, Call of Duty stuff never stops, and I love breaking it down for all of you. Until next time, drink your coffee, drink your Wawa. I'll see you back here sometime soon. XX Epic Fail. We'll catch you later.